Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like this video if you like it. Okay, I really appreciate that. And yeah, in this video I'm going to show a little bit of my process like I always do. And this time around, I'm going to show you how I continue to update my app and build my SaaS, as a vibe coder. Okay, and what you're looking at is obviously my SaaS, my conversion software website. Okay. And yeah, I had a feedback from a user that actually tested the app. And as you can see it on the screen, and the user was basically talking about in terms of using the uh, PDF to Word conversion, and there were some structural issues. Okay. So, like I always do, and like I've shared in previous videos, once I receive a feedback like that, it's actually very constructive and it's something I can use to obviously improve the product. So I go back to drawing board. I go back to Claude. This is something I always like think through, and then once I made up my mind on how I'm going to build it, I give it to Claude to think through for me and come up with a solution and so on and so forth. So that's what the issue is. Okay, I'm going to try to improve my conversion in terms of the PDF to Word conversion specifically. Okay, so that the outcome as a Word document can be a more structured document instead of the outcome being something that's all over the place, really. Because sometimes in the past, when I've tested this conversion specifically, it keeps the text the way it is, but the format of the structure in terms of the uh, paragraphs or the white spaces, or you could say bullet points and styling, has been off. Okay, but and then once a user says, "Hey, listen, I was using the tool, but I didn't like the outcome," I have to get back to the drawing board and improve it. So, and the way I do that is simple, guys. It's very simple. I go to Claude, I talk with Claude, I tell Claude, "Hey, listen, we can improve this, so and so and so," and then we come up with a plan. Like, as you can see, this is me having a conversation with Claude. It's very simple. This is something anyone can do. And once I've formulated a reason, as you can see, I keep talking to Claude after I've made up my mind, and stuff like that. I keep saying things like, sometimes let's avoid having pages that create white spaces and stuff. So basically, I tell Claude to give me a prompt, right? And I take the prompt, like as you can see. Then I go back to my, agentic IDE, which is Antigravity, as you guys know. This is the tool that I actually used to build my SaaS. So once I received a prompt from Claude, I take it, paste it into Antigravity here, as you can see, and then Antigravity gets to work to build everything. And I test everything and make sure everything works. And eventually it comes up with the final feedback and says, "Hey, we've added everything. Everything works as it should. It's using this functions and so on and so forth." So then I get to testing it. And this is actually what I've received. I've just done a few tests, and I'm actually going to create these two documents so you guys can see the differences. So let me open this two folders side by side, right? So this is where I started from, right? You can see this test CV. If you open it, this is a PDF document. Yeah. Now I actually used Claude. I used Claude to create this document. You can see here, test CV. So Claude didn't do a good job of doing this properly, but it's fine. It's not a problem. I'm more concerned with this structure. This structure here, retaining the bullet points and the bold, and this is more complex for it to do. In the past, where this is grayed, this is black, and this is bold, whereas this is normal text and stuff like that. And these lines as well. So starting from PDF like this, maybe this is someone's CV, right? And you might want to just convert this CV to a Word document. And then the output is now, because I downloaded the actual file from my website. So if we test it and see what the outcome is, you can see that it retained this part. And it retained this part, right? Because the PDF had issues with this from the start anyway, but I wasn't worried about that. It retained the line, as you can see, the blue line. If you go back to the PDF, that we started with, the blue line is there. If you go back to the Word document that we converted, it retained the blue line, the bold headers, the whole paragraph is there. If you go back there, you can see the whole paragraph is there. This whole structure is basically intact as well. If you go back to the Word document, you see this whole structure is intact. One thing it didn't retain is the line. If you look at this line here, this gray line here in this PDF, but I messed around with it a bit. I just couldn't get it to retain that line specifically, even though it's able to retain this line, this gray line. Even on the PDF, this gray line is there as well. But so it retained this gray line, but it didn't retain other lines. Like you can see, this has the gray line and gray line under education and stuff. But the outcome didn't retain the lines, the underline for everything. Okay, but that's still probably something I will have to keep working at. Okay, but at the moment, in terms of keeping the structure the way it is and editable, because with a PDF, you can see it's not editable. You can only copy, but it's not editable. But with a Word document, it keeps the structure the way it is, and you can edit it, you can delete, you can add, and so on and so forth. Let me do that. Okay, you can edit individual text. Okay, and you can see you can edit individual text however you want. And that's what I wanted to achieve, to be very honest. Okay, obviously I'm still a little bit disappointed at the lines on the PDF. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the PDF, but on the Word document, there are how many lines that there are 1 and 2. So there are basically 4 lines still missing. Okay, even this line, we look at this blue line, is a bit skinnier than this line on the PDF, which is a bit thicker, you can see. But I'm happy with the updates that it's done so far. So if I can show you guys on the website itself by just doing it in front of you, so you can see I'm not lying. The improvements are there. If you go to the PDF that we started with, which is test CV, click on that, click on this Word extension, which is Word documents, and then converts. So it's gonna keep us up to date to what we're doing, updated, so you can see what is going on. And as you can see, it's done it already, and then it's gonna still give you a bit of feedback here to let you know what is going on. And we can see for ourselves, so you can see that it's made some improvements, but it's not just 100% perfect at the moment, which is something I'll definitely keep working at. I would definitely keep working at that. And yeah, there we go. It's downloading, and there we go. And also, one thing I want to point out is when you download your file, if you happen to test the website, don't forget the website is FileSwift.io. Okay, give it a test. I'll leave the link to the website in the description below. And there are 2 ways to download any files that you use this website for. Okay, you can always download the individual file here, and it will download. There you go. Or you can, if you're downloading more than one file, if you don't want to download it individually, you can just download as a zip. But then again, if you're downloading on your phone, don't forget you have to then open the zip itself and then have to extract it out and stuff like that. But it's easy. If it's easy for you to just download individual files, even if you have more than one file, just click on this download button here, as you can see where it says download file. So now let's go back to the actual the actual file itself, CSV, test CV. Let's see. There we go. See, it's the same file. Okay, but what I wanted to achieve, like I said, the structure is now there. Okay, the structure is there. The text being gray and black, bold, everything is there the way it was on the starting PDF, as you can see. Okay, it's just that the only thing missing is just those lines, those 4 lines that it's missing out. You know, this one, this one, this one, and that one. Okay, but in terms of the structure, I achieved what I wanted to achieve. And that's the thing with software. Okay, I'm always going to keep updating it. Okay, but at the moment I will say, if you're going to use FileSwift.io to convert your PDF to a Word document, I will say you're going to get at least 99% accuracy. I stand by that. Okay, so give it a try, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But like I said, don't forget, guys, like this video if you like it, and if you have a constructive feedback, also leave comments in the description below. I will definitely like to take a look at it. Like I said, you know, I started with this video by saying that someone left a constructive feedback for me on my threads platform, on the threads platform, and I guess what, I acted on it, and I tried to improve this tool because it's not perfect yet. FileSwift.io is not perfect yet, but it will be the more I continue to iterate and continue to improve and, you know, make changes and so on and so forth. And I will continue to take on the constructive feedback as well, guys. So, but without your input, without you telling me, hey, listen, this is not well done and stuff like that, I will not be able to action and take action on these things. But, you know, thank you for your call and continued support if you've watched up to this point, and I will see you next time. Peace.